everybody.
Hi, guys. Well, from beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah.
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
The podcast.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And filling in for Chris, I'm Dan Beecher.
Welcome back, Dan.
Thank you.
How was your trip?
Oh, let's not do that thing. It was great. My trip was great.
Good.
Chris was great. Thanks so much, Chris, for filling in for me. And I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm better than ever, baby.
Yeah. And coming up on this show today, right in front of you, everyone, we're going to be talking about pastors and ministers who do bad things and land in court and get found guilty because they did bad things.
Right.
And then the judge during sentencing is like, yeah, but you're a good person.
Yeah. We're going to be talking
We're
about
going to talk a little bit about that.
what when good people,
i.e. bad people,
do bad things.
Yeah. But first, Dan.
But first,
I've got the story of an HOA, a homeowners association.
Yes.
Of which, you're a member of an HOA.
I am.
I'm a member of an HOA.
You am.
There's good, there's bad.
Yeah.
It just comes. It comes with living around people.
Can I tell you what I don't understand?
What?
Like, we both live in condos.
Yeah.
I don't understand HOAs for, like, housing subdivisions that are just homes.
Well, that's all about protecting the property values, Dan.
No,
about keeping the right
it's not.
people in our neighborhood and keeping the wrong elements out.
Yeah.
Because you best be putting that trash can behind the rose bushes
Right.
like it's supposed to go.
Right, exactly.
And not poking out like we see all the time.
The Johnsons didn't plant the right tree.
Yeah.
We were all planting mulberries, and
it's
they
a good-
planted a maple.
It's a good 3 feet behind the line where it's supposed to be.
Okay, do your story.
But that's HOAs in a nutshell, especially that setting of HOAs. Like in ours, it's legitimately like we share common property, right? It's about landscaping,
right?
And maintaining the spaces that we all sort of own.
Yeah,
collectively.
if there's a pool, it's about making sure that that's taken care of. And if the roof needs replacing, we all got to replace it together.
The roof, and you share these common expenses. Mine works a little differently than that, but it's essentially the same.
That's the basics.
Yeah, but nonetheless, here in Utah, Saratoga Springs. This is one of these sprawl communities. It didn't exist 10, 15 years ago. Yeah. It's just new track housing.
Yeah.
Way far flung.
And since it's Utah, they're enormous houses.
Built cheaply.
Built to last a solid 5 to 10 years. Definitely that.
Sorry, Saratoga Springs.
Might make it to 15 if you if you have good upkeep.
Isn't Saratoga Springs the town that gave us Mia Love? Isn't that where she got her start? She was the mayor of Saratoga Springs. Or maybe that was Eagle Mountain.
They allowed a black person there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why Utahns loved her.
Yeah.
Anyway. But nonetheless, Saratoga Springs, HOA, new development. During this most recent round of sort of pride, gay pride. There were some stories that came out in the news, and we kind of talked about them on the show, of pride flags being taken down in some communities.
Yeah.
Right. And here in Utah, and boy, that caused a little bit of a ruckus.
A hubbub.
Well, this HOA has ruled that there is nothing but the U.S. and Utah flags ever allowed.
Oh.
Ever.
You don't try to fly a Jolly Roger.
Never.
If you're from another country, just forget about it. That country,
about it.
Put that country out of your mind forever.
You are not allowed to adorn your home with flags unless it's patriotic or Utah proud, whatever that would be.
Oh, this to me, if I lived in that community, which thank God I don't, would be like a gauntlet being thrown down. I would find so many ways to get rainbows all over my house
but they
that aren't flags.
This kind of HOA has rules about all this shit.
I will plant flowers in a rainbow.
You're probably not allowed to plant flowers.
I will paint something. I will have rainbows everywhere. I will find every loophole. They will have to close all the loopholes just because they pissed me off and my house is now nothing but rainbows.
Right. And to be fair, Dave and I just moved, right?
Right.
We moved from an actual real big condominium style place.
Right. With dozens of units.
143.
Right.
Right. It's a big place. But anyway, I was pretty sure our rules were against any flags, to be honest.
Right.
Because this was just your only exterior space was a balcony.
Right.
Right. And draping something off the balcony, I just knew was just completely against the rules.
Right.
But there was somebody who had their University of Utah flag during some football game out. I've seen American flags out. And so Dave very, very proudly came home with a very nice pride flag.
Sure.
A stitched, really nice one. He was I kind of made fun of him for
he
it.
Sprung for the good.
Yeah, because I'm it's up for 48 hours and what do you... Okay, fine, whatever.
Ours had been up for a month and a half.
You guys have really been going for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But nonetheless...
we're not even gay.
I know, but
we're gaying it up.
Yeah, I know. But where was I going with this? Oh, I was just primed and ready. Right?
For a fight?
If somebody had said anything about it. And then pride flags were just springing up all over the place.
Oh, that's cool.
It was
that's
fun. It was okay, cool, and nobody's going to complain about this. And if they do, I'm going after I know exactly which unit had that one. I know which unit had that one, and they're going to get the same letter, but for their flags.
Yeah.
But this is a different situation.
Yeah.
They're defining what kind of flags you can put out, and
on the plus side,
it is within their rights.
Sure.
They have the authority to do this.
Sure. On the plus side, that also means no Confederate flags or anything like that.
And see, that's kind of the point, and that is where there's a part of me that's a little bit on the fence here. I think they should actually say no flags at all.
Yeah.
Because I think there should be, if you're saying there are the some flags are somehow
better than others,
offensive, right, or unwanted, then just don't do it at all, because
but the U.S. flag, the country's flag, the state's flag, who can object to that?
I do. I object to the state flag.
The state flags,
it's
first
just
of all,
on the grounds that it's an ugly flag.
It's a little tacky. It's not as bad as some.
Fair enough.
It's not as bad as some.
But I do believe that your average vexillologist would say that it's not a good flag.
We have both listened to 99% Invisible. That is a thing that has happened. All right, I'm going to move on.
Why? Because I know the word vexillology?
Correct. That is why. You did not know that before 99%.
How dare you? Do you know who's a vexillologist? An amateur vexillologist?
You say yourself.
No, I'm not. We share a friend.
Who?
Chris H.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
He's very into things like that. Okay, I'm gonna take us to Virginia.
Yeah.
Nope, not Virginia. I'm wrong.
No.
There's no where here. But I saw the letters VA and I was like, haha, that's where. No, it's the VA. The veterans.
It must get confusing in the state of Virginia. Are you talking about the state or the hospital?
I like to go to the VA. Anyway, this is to do with the Veterans Department. VA Secretary Robert Wilkie announced a new policy to hopefully reduce inconsistencies within the VA to do with, quote, protecting religious liberty. It's very important. We have talked, you and I, on this show about stories about displays honoring veterans, honoring fallen comrades or whatever, and the fact that oftentimes they include a Bible.
Yeah.
And about the fact that oftentimes soldiers aren't Christian.
Right.
And about the fact that feels really exclusionary, and about the fact that there's a whole constitutional amendment that says don't do that shit.
Right.
Then we talked about the fact that there was a recent ruling in the Supreme Court to do with the Bladensburg Peace Cross in the intersection in Maryland that is now allowed to stand because our Supreme Court just got it fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And now they're using that ruling
Oh, God.
to say, oh, no, this is just great to have Bibles or whatever. Well, of course, what they say is religious articles from any religion. But what they mean is Bibles. This is just about making sure that they can put Bibles in any of their displays that they want to. It's also about making sure that religious paraphernalia can be distributed in VA hospitals and whatever, which is fine as long as it goes to people who are asking for it.
Yeah.
You know, if a Christian guy wants a Bible, give it to him. I'm all for that. And this also clears the way, this decision clears the way for religious paraphernalia to be donated to the VA for distribution purposes.
Good.
Great.
They're just cutting through all the red tape.
Can we just say that like
Getting
porn magazines are atheist paraphernalia and that we can donate those for our soldiers so that they can have those in their
I think that's a great
they
idea.
convalesce in the hospital.
Absolutely. I think that's a great idea. Actually, Dan, just right down the street from my new place. Is I forget what it's called. Oh, the new drug. It's something, the foundation of the new drug or something like that.
I've seen that.
Have you seen it on
I don't know what it is. Yeah. What is that?
It's an anti-porn thing.
Oh, God.
It's an anti-porn organization. They've written out this space in a pretty attractive building, actually.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, it looks
right,
great.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And Dave and I have been talking about, like, we should start leafleting it with porn, or at least just the JCPenney catalog,
just the bra section and the male underwear section, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just like nothing that actually fully crosses the line, but definitely get them like a subscription to Hustler, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Like you could probably actually call Hustler up and give them the address,
and they'll
just
send it.
Start sending.
Yeah, we really should do that. Just spam their email address like crazy.
It'd be amazing.
Anyway, the new VA policies. Here's what the Military Religious Freedom Foundation, which is people who which is sort of our people who don't want any religion in the military. Their president, Mikey Weinstein, had this to say, quote, "These brand new VA policies, clearly based upon the U.S. Supreme Court's recent idiotic decision in the Bladensburg cross case, are nothing more than a transparent and repugnant attempt to further buttress and solidify fundamentalist Christianity as the insuperable official religion of choice for the VA, our armed forces, and this country." That he went a little vitriolic there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Wow.
So there you go. Hooray. They're winning.
Hooray. Well,
they're not winning.
Momentarily. Like
they win some battles, though.
It's a few steps forward. It's a few steps. It's a back and forth thing.
Yeah.
But they're not going to give up.
No.
They're just going to, oh my God, they make me crazy. Anyway. All right, Dan.
Yes, sir.
I've got a very interesting story.
I hope so. That's kind of what our job is to have interesting stories.
This is actually, like, there are themes that come up a lot on this show, right?
Yes.
This is a new one for me.
Yeah.
This is a story of a church in Atlanta, Georgia, called the Vision Church.
Vision Church.
The Vision Church.
Only sighted people are allowed.
Oh. And also those who have an additional sight. They've added a psychic medium to their lineup of staff. She claims to be able to commune with the dead.
Oh, good.
And she she says that God, when he called her, because she has this show on YouTube called The Gift, right? She does a little series that she calls The Gift.
Yeah.
And she says that God told her to do the show because she talks a lot about being a medium, a minister, and a spiritual teacher on this show. And she says that God told her to do the show. And she says, honestly, I was reluctant at first because I felt very vulnerable and thought I would get a lot of pushback and negative feedback being a minister and a medium, right? I thought people wouldn't understand, but I knew I still had to do it. I knew I had been called to do it. When I asked God, why this gift? Why not singing? Right? He said, I promised my people eternal life. How will my people know that I've kept my promise if you don't demonstrate your gift, right?
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lord. That was a good point you made.
And so she uses James 1:17 as her justification here.
Oh, what's James? What is
she
that?
says that every good and perfect gift is from above. That's what James 1:17 says.
Okay.
And so she says that this is a good gift.
I want to know if is it perfect? Because I'm going to guess that she gets some wrong.
No.
I'm going to guess.
Never. She's let's see, what else? She says that she's been using her gift for a long time, and she always wanted to use it without sacrificing her faith in Jesus. Right.
Aww.
For me, it was very important that I was able to merge the two: my love for God, my love for Jesus. But really, I knew that I could heal through ministry. But I've always been healing, so it was kind of natural to be able to merge the two to continue that level of healing.
Oh
so
my God. These people just prey on the credulous. But I will say this. I used to be a medium. Now I'm a large.
Yeah.
That's
what happens in your 40s, Dan.
I know. It happens. I'm not
but
fat.
no, I find it.
I'm fat. Anyway, sorry.
That was a fun little dialogue that you just had.
I'm just going through myself.
With yourself.
I'm not into
there.
body shaming anybody, including myself.
All right.
Go me.
Well done. Well done, Dan.
I like me.
Good for you.
Like my body.
Good for you.
Yeah. Sorry.
I just found it really interesting that, there's something weird happening in American Christianity.
Yeah. It does not know what its identity is right now.
No.
It's going through an identity crisis.
So, this is insanity.
I love it.
Christians used to denounce psychics
as a lot of
satanic.
Well, what's great is that there's this new crop, and we'll play a clip later. There's this new crop of people calling themselves prophets.
Yeah.
And all they're doing is psychic readings. You know what I mean? They are basically this generation's Miss Cleo.
Yeah.
And they're okay to the fundamentalists. They're great.
Right.
But if you call yourself, those same people would rail and decry this as witchcraft and blah, 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 blah.
Well, it's interesting, right?
But if she just said prophetess,
she would have been in the clear.
She's fine.
She's a prophetess who can talk to God, or not talk to God, who can talk to the dead.
To the dead.
That's actually your way in.
Yeah.
Why,
it's the same fucking thing. You just use different verbiage, and then
I'm a prophet who can read, signs on your body. Right? Give me your hand. Let me see what your hand says to me. I really need to look at your hand. No. Isn't this interesting?
You don't understand. My tarot cards have scriptures on them. It's fine.
Right.
Look at the card. Yes, it's the 6 of Pentacles. Luke chapter 12, verse 2.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
Anyway.
No, I love it.
We should do that. We'll make money.
Well, we should do the Christian tarot deck.
Yeah.
Instead of, pentacles or whatever, or cups.
Crosses.
You have crosses, and you have a crown of thorns.
Yeah.
And you have
Yeah.
whatever, right?
Yeah,
and
all the things.
And then you have, is there already a prophet card?
I think there's a something like that.
Yeah. And
so you have that, and then
you
you have death.
Your disciple card.
Yeah.
You have death. You have your resurrection card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could totally have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah,
designing it up,
and then
what? Talk about confusing people.
Right.
Talk about being conflicted.
And you do include like a scripture on each one of them.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you do a scripture on the bottom, and then you do an upside down scripture on the top for when it's reversed, for when it's inverted.
An artist who would be able to like completely whip something like that up.
We know plenty of artists. We could do this shit. As a matter of fact, I can't say. I can't. It's on the DL.
Oh, okay, all right.
I think I know somebody who's working on a Mormon tarot deck. Anyway.
Oh, a Mormon one.
Anyway, sorry. Shouldn't have said anything. Now I've said it. It's out there. It's in the world.
Dottie Dixon, is it?
No.
Although she would have been perfect for that.
Okay. Anyway, I'm taking us to Russia, home of the Russian Orthodox Church, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of Kremlin.org or whatever.
Kremlin.gov.
.com. Yeah. Anyway.
.ru.c or .co.
Are you kidding me? Anywho, the Russian Orthodox Church is considering a policy change as it pertains to the blessing of the military, which is to say that up until now, apparently, they have been blessing and sanctifying all of their weaponry in the Russian military. And now they're considering just blessing the soldiers and letting the weaponry like God doesn't need to interfere in their S-400 surface to air missiles, etc.
I don't know. I mean,
there's nuclear submarines, their tanks, their fighter jets, etc.
I mean, what if God doesn't, help the machines work?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. What if they misfire? Is that on you?
Yeah.
If you didn't bless it?
Right.
Get your act together, Russian Orthodox Church. Anyway, not everybody's this change has not been put into place. It has just been proposed.
Well, they're waiting to see who gets who dies in their sleep before before they actually pull the trigger on
Right,
this.
Yeah. And pull the trigger is an apt phrasing. Indeed. Not everybody's happy. Vlesvolod Chaplain, who is a priest and former spokesman for the Patriarch, told a newspaper that basically their nuclear arsenal there in Russia, that's the country's, quote, guardian angels, and necessary to preserve Orthodox civilization. They're saying, he said, quote, only nuclear weapons protect Russia from enslavement by the West.
Oh, my God.
Because the West definitely out to enslave Russia.
Right.
Faux show.
That's all we can think about at night.
It's basically, right. Yeah. I don't know how we haven't tried it yet.
What if we tricked them into not blessing their missiles?
Yeah, exactly. That'll work. That will work. Because it's a slippery slope. You stop blessing the missiles, and then do you bless each individual rifle? Probably. Look, there's too many of them. We can't
just do a big mass blessing.
Right.
God bless all the rifles.
But they do the thing where they dip the tassels into the water and spray it on everybody and stuff. You gotta get your sprinkles in.
They do praying right and blessing right, don't they?
Yeah.
They do.
They put
in the work.
They're wearing the hats. They're wearing the gowns. They are dolled up and ready to sprinkle.
This is no over the pulpit little prayer thing.
By the way, look for my new memoir coming out soon, Dolled Up and Ready to Sprinkle. That's out in March of next year.
All right, Dan.
Yeah?
Get ready, Dan.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
I'm braced.
There is a possible upcoming Bible shortage.
No!
In this country.
No! Wait,
my God.
How is that possible? There's so fucking many Bibles in this country.
No, Dan. No.
How?
They're potentially, thanks to Donald Trump's tariff. The collateral damage is Bibles. The proposed 25%
Because of all the printing in China?
There's no exemption for books in this. And specifically no exemption for Bibles being printed. The proposed 25% tariff would obviously raise the prices of Bibles by a big chunk, right? And those costs would be passed on to those purchasing the Bibles.
Yeah.
And those...
As we've learned, this trade war only hurts us.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're the only ones who get hurt in this trade war that Donald Trump is insisting on participating in. And he's winning it, by gum, by damaging all of us.
Guess how many Bibles are sold in the United States every year?
Oh, God.
Guess how many?
Whatever the number is, I'm going to be depressed. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say 200,000. I don't know. No.
20 million.
Jesus Christ.
Bibles are sold in the United States each year. This
you already have Bibles. Everybody already has it.
The Bible is the undisputed top-selling book in the United States
every year,
bar none.
Yeah.
The next bestseller in 2018 was Michelle Obama's Becoming, and guess how many it sold?
10 million.
3.5 million.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, for all of these people buying so here's the thing. The people buying these Bibles, they're not buying them to sit down and read them. First of all, nobody sits down, nobody buys a Bible to read it. Right?
Atheists buy a Bible to read it. That's the only people
don't buy Bibles to read them.
No. And atheists don't buy Bibles. They steal them from a hotel and then they read them.
Right.
They buy them to give them, and they buy them to have. They have to have the family Bible.
Right.
And then they give them to their kid when they turn whatever years old.
Right.
And then, as a matter of fact, one of my favorite things I've ever seen in a Barnes & Noble was a book that had a ducky.
Uh-huh.
Like a cartoon ducky on the front of it. And it said, Baby's First Bible.
Oh.
I was like, well, ain't that some bullshit right there? That is just marketing.
With a ducky.
With a little ducky on the front.
Wasn't even like a Christian duck? You
tell me what a Christian duck looks like.
Crown of thorns.
Crucified duck.
Both delicious.
Wings splayed akimbo.
And sin forgiving.
Oh, yeah, you cook it just right. Christian duck's your better duck. That is your finest.
Oh.
You get... What you want is a confit on those legs.
Yeah.
And then maybe on the breast too. Yeah.
It may not save you from your sins, but it might just save your dinner party.
Yeah.
You know.
All right.
That didn't really go anywhere.
I
wanted something better from that line. But nonetheless, there's a huge international Bible society called Biblica.
Okay, sure.
I've never heard of it before. But it's a charitable religious organization that gives away Bibles to people in 55 countries. But the Bibles get filtered through the United States. I think they're going to have to skip the United States. I think they're going to have to go to a third-party country, get the Bibles imported there, and then ship them off someplace else. It's the only thing. That's the only thing that you can do.
And our economy loses out yet again.
The Chinese Bibles.
Yeah.
Right.
The ones printed in China.
First of all.
Not the ones printed in Chinese.
Exactly, right. But apparently, basically, all Bibles are printed in China now.
Almost all printing is done in China now.
Yeah. There are still U.S. printers, but they have shipped all of their Bible printing facilities to China decades ago.
Sure.
And a Bible printer is a very specialized piece of equipment.
Because you have to print on the thinnest paper of all time.
On Kleenex. Yeah.
Because otherwise people see exactly how thick that book actually is.
And they would never buy it.
They would never buy it.
First of all, the shipping costs alone. Right.
Stephen King, eat your heart out.
Where was I? China. Everything's there. Oh, and children's books are printed in China as well.
That's true.
And so China represents 72% of Biblica's investment in Bible publishing, and this would dramatically affect the number of Bibles, right? If this tariff goes through.
I've never...
we are able to print and give away, impacting, get this line, this is choice, impacting the religious freedom of individuals in countries where Bible access is limited and often non-existent.
Because
Jesus Christ.
religious freedom, you have the right to a Bible, is what you have the right to.
That is what you, yes, of course.
Yeah. No, it's interesting that you would give me a reason to like Trump's trade war with China.
That's the only reason.
So far, that's the only one I can come up with. Every other one makes me want to kick my own self in the balls.
I know.
But that one is kind of cute. Yeah. All right. There you go. I'm going to take us to Florida, where a principal has gotten himself fired. William Latson of Spanish River Community High School in Boca Raton is now fired, having tried to avoid controversy, but he just stepped in it.
Oh no, that's
this
the saddest thing.
Basically, what he said to parents was that we can't teach the Holocaust because
What?
not everyone believes in it.
And like not teaching climate change.
It would just be stepping into the politics of the thing, and he can't take a political stance like the Holocaust occurred when not all of the parents are going to go along with that.
Okay, so then what?
Fired. I'm fired.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he basically said that he had to be politically neutral and support all groups in the school. No, you have to actually care about the facts.
Yeah.
That's one of the things you have to do. So, this is the climate in the United States of America.
Unreal.
Where you can't, there's good people on both sides, Frank. There's good people on both sides. Our president said so.
Yeah, no, of course.
So,
oh my God.
yeah.
What a ding dong. Were
There
there
you
people
go.
who were upset about it?
Yeah.
Like, was he at least, no, I mean about the Holocaust being taught. Was he actually legitimately responding to something?
Not that he made clear,
Okay.
but it does
So
seem
it sounds like more than anything, he's a Holocaust denier.
right. Or at
Right.
least a Holocaust I don't know. Something smells funny about this whole Holocaust business. 6 million Jews. Come on.
That's a lot.
Come on.
How would you even orchestrate such a thing? You would have to have the most organized people in the world to pull something like that
Right.
off.
Yeah, exactly. Not it doesn't pass the smell test, if you ask me. Oh boy. Hey Frank,
What's that, Dan?
it's important to me. The people listening to this show probably heard some ads at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, they did.
They'll hear more. And that's something that we have to do because we got to pay our bills.
Absolutely.
We want to be an entirely listener-supported show.
And have that be the way that we support the bills. Or pay the bills.
It's really important. And people have been getting on board. People have been ponying up, and it's so amazing. But
It's been a remarkable response so far, Dan.
absolutely,
I mean, it really has.
we're getting closer and closer to our goal. But we need more help.
We do.
We're not there.
No.
And there are some people listening to the show. God bless you. You just haven't signed up yet. You could, and maybe you should.
Right.
So now's the time. Here's what we're asking. Pause the show.
Right now, do you want me to?
Not you, them.
Because there's a button right here.
Nope, don't push that button. But kids at home, listening on your way to work or whatever, pull over to the side of this road.
Just stop.
Pause the show.
Just stop your car.
What are you doing? Stop whatever you're doing.
Whatever I-95, I-5.
Right.
The 405.
If you're at work and your boss has just come up to you, just give him the one finger, say, hang on, Kevin.
Uh-huh.
I need to stop right now.
Right.
Go to thankgodimatheist.com.
Uh-huh.
And I need to click on this there's a whole banner on the right-hand side of the website. Website.
Right.
And you just click on that. You sign up. You decide how much you want to give. Mm-hmm. We become insanely grateful for your help. And then you feel better about it. And then we get to that place where we can be listener supported. Mm-hmm. And then no more ads for anybody. In the meantime, you get to have an ad-free version of the show right out the chute.
Just because you're a supporter of the show.
Yep. So please do that. Go to thankgodimatheist.com. Sign up. We'll be so grateful. And you'll help us push toward that goal. Go you!
Yay, God!
Not sure where that came from. Okay. Anyway, if you'd like to write into us about any of the things we've said on the show, please do so. You can write to us podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or call and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Indeed. Go to the Facebook page, please. Facebook.com/TGIAtheist and click on that like button.
And while you're there, you can search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. It's a closed room. So
dun, dun, dun.
But we will let you in.
We will. It's true.
Dan.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, hello. Chris McDonald, the fireman prophet.
No, he's not the fireman prophet.
Oh, no, he's the doofus.
Mark Taylor is the
Mark Taylor, who he's talking with.
Mark Taylor's on Chris McDonald's show.
That's
I think
what it is.
basically
Okay.
they each have a show, and they're the only guest on each other's show.
That's pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
We should split.
We should do that. We have two
We
shows.
should break.
Welcome to the Dan Show with my guest, Frank Feldman. Thank you for coming on to the Dan Show.
And did you know I'm also streaming the show?
You got another
Thanks
show.
for being on my show.
Hey, you're welcome.
These anyway,
Dipshits.
these
Guys are such dorks.
Yeah.
That here's what's funny. This people all know about this whole Epstein thing. This
Oh my God.
what is his name? Phil?
Sure.
I don't know what his name is. Anyway, yes. It looks like some big names might get dragged down with this guy. This guy was clearly sex trafficking, was running a high-end pimpery of some sort. And it looks like Trump is going to get caught in this dragnet.
Phenomenal.
He is
Right.
He is neck deep in all of it.
It's cuckoo.
These guys don't seem to get that thing. They are stoked as hell. And I will remind our listeners who might be confused by what they're about to hear,
Okay.
that these guys have talked for years about a cabal of pedophiles
Right.
run by Hillary Clinton,
Right.
Barack Obama,
Right.
and the Washington elites.
Right.
The Illuminati, I'm sure, involved. I'm guessing George
Lizard
Soros
people.
is in front of is on the
Yeah.
Anyway, Jews. It all goes back to Jews somehow.
Right.
But yes, these guys think that the Epstein arrest is the fulfillment of their own prophecies. They don't seem to get what's really happening. Anyway, play it. Let's see how they have to say. Yeah.
Something shifted in the spirit realm Thursday on July the 4th. I was in D.C. I watched that speech. I watched it again just to get a little bit more of it. It was pouring rain. It was hot. I wasn't close, and there was only one Trinitron. I heard most of it, but I went back and listened to it again. And Mark, our president, shook the heavenlies with that speech. Something shifted over D.C., and an earthquake, 2 earthquakes, a flood now in D.C., and this Epstein thing, brother, something is astir in the heavenlies over this nation right now.
Absolutely. And what people have to understand is that this Epstein thing is huge. This is way bigger than most people can realize. Everybody, the naysayers out there that have been out there saying nothing's happening, they're getting impatient. Here's your first high-profile arrest right here.
Right.
And this is what's, Katie barred the door because this is what's going to open the floodgates, which we'll talk about in a minute. And so between this guy and El Chapo, which gets sentenced on the 17th of this month. This is not a coincidence.
No, it's not.
That all this stuff's happening at the same time. These two guys alone, Chris, could literally take down most of D.C.
Without a doubt.
And most of the global elites all over the world, whether it's Hollywood, whether it's overseas, whatever. This is huge right now, the rest of this guy. This is what's going to open the floodgates for all the rest of this stuff to follow. And this just skims the surface of what's coming. Because you figure this guy's only got them in blackmail and compromising positions, with the sex stuff or whatever it is. And so, I mean, it's going to lead to other things right here. This is what I believe is going to be the catalyst that starts this whole thing off. People have been asking, where's the arrest? Where's the arrest? I don't see anything happening. Folks, here it is. This is the start right here. Sit back, get your popcorn, put your seatbelt on, because this is going to be a heck of a ride, man. And, God has been given sign after sign after sign as to what's going on. And we've had 2 earthquakes. And so we've had 2 earthquakes in California, which was centered underneath China Lake, which is not a coincidence either. There's some people believing that these were not earthquakes, that these were actually something else that was going on in these underground dumb bases, deep underground military bases, that the cabal is being taken down. This is huge, Chris. I mean, I'm ecstatic to see all this happening and so then God gives another sign. He gives another sign in D.C. You were just there, July 4th.
Exactly.
And so he gives a sign. We now have flooding in Washington, D.C. So what is God trying to say to us right here, prophetically? God's saying that, look, the storm is upon us. It's here right now. And so the flooding's taking place. The old's being washed away, and the new's going to get ushered in. There's a cleansing that's taking place in Washington, D.C. right now.
Okay.
Does he realize who controls everything in Washington,
the weather?
D.C.?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying
isn't it the Rothschilds or something?
Well, yeah, but yes, obviously, clearly, they control the weather. But what I'm saying is, if the old is being washed out and the new is coming in, that's your guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything is off all of the rails now.
Yeah.
I don't know what anything is, but the heavenlies have shaken.
What is this guy? Anyway.
Oh my God.
No, it's wow.
I shake your heavenlies, baby.
I mean, they're right in one way, which is there will be other people implicated in this thing. This guy is one sick dude.
Yeah.
Right? And
You're talking about El Chapo right now, right?
El Chapo, yeah. No, Epstein, right? He's one sick dude.
Yeah.
And
he's gonna try and get himself off by throwing people under buses.
And that's going to be a very interesting thing to watch.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be both sides of the political spectrum.
Absolutely. And good riddance to all of them.
And they all deserve it.
Yeah.
Whatever comes their way, they deserve it.
Yeah.
Probably more.
Uh-huh.
Right? But I just think they need sort of better pestilences or whatever you want to call it. Sorry, things that just happen,
right?
Like earthquakes and floods.
Earthquakes in California. Ooh,
weather.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That might have been something powerful to like Bronze Age people, right? Oh, a flood. Why did it happen? Right? We kind of know why these things happen.
Yeah.
Right. And so you got to get something better.
Yeah, you got to do better than earthquakes in an earthquake-prone state. What? Or the San Andreas Fault is shaking? What's going on? This is new.
Yeah. Somehow I missed the flood story. What the Potomac backup or something?
I didn't see much. I just saw that there was flooding in D.C.
Yeah. Okay. Again, a city that's like built on floodplains, right? Like,
probably, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It was a swamp before they built the thing.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. So okay, there you go. Hey Frank,
Dan,
I just went on vacation. I don't know if you're aware of that. I don't know if you noticed that you had someone filling in for me.
Yes, I'm fully aware, Dan. So are all of our listeners.
Yeah. You know what's great?
What's that?
I had a razor with a travel case that went on it. I didn't have to worry about it.
And how much did you use that razor?
Well, I shave. I don't shave every day. I shave most days though.
Really? You clean up your neck?
Clean up my neck.
Good,
clean up above the
keep
on
yourself
the
looking
cheeks.
kempt.
Yeah. I
One
mean,
mustn't be unkempt.
I'm a bearded man. I'm a hirsute fella.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that it's just all. I just let it all go.
No.
I trim
There's nothing sloppy about you.
and I shave.
No, yeah. No.
I shave those bits. Them bits that I don't want bearded
Right.
need to be taken care of.
Right.
I was able to do it.
Good.
All thanks to Harrys.com.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't know if you remember this, but Harrys.com, that's HARRYS.com.
Yeah.
They
And
get
you can add a little slash on there.
/TGIA.
Yeah.
That's where you go. Thank God I'm atheist. It's super easy to remember.
Yeah.
Harrys.com /TGIA. You go
Yeah.
in there. And listen, we've been ripped off on razors for decades now.
I can think of 2 major national brands that I have
At
used.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah. That have
And
been
paid exorbitant amounts of money.
Yeah. And they do
ridiculous.
And it's all gimmicky stuff. Oh, this one vibrates, and oh, this one looks like it's made in space, and all the things. And
This one goes really fast.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the fastest razor out there.
You know which one I'm talking about.
No, it's just a razor to get the hair off of your face.
Yeah.
And you know who does that well? Harry's does that well.
Yeah.
They give you a 5-blade cartridge. It's
Yeah.
the smoothest shave you're going to want.
It's so comfortable, I can't even believe it.
Look, I don't know where you're going on your next vacation, but you should be taking Harry's with you.
Yeah.
Give it a try. It's free. It's free for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because we love you.
Us.
Because we love you. Look, okay. You go to harrys.com /TGIA. And you get the weighted ergonomic handle for an easy grip. You get a 5-blade razor with lubricating strip and trimmer blade.
Yeah.
Close shave. Everything's great. You get our favorite thing, the rich lathering shave gel, leave you smelling great. And it really does actually smell very good. It's
it
not
does.
so many of these are kind of gross. It's not Axe body spray. You actually smell good. It actually smells nice.
Fair. Good.
And you get a travel blade cover to keep your razor dry when you're on your family vacation to Disney World in Florida.
There you go. Fantastic.
All of that's free. You just pay for the shipping. You can redeem your trial set at harrys.com /TGIA, HARRYS.com /TGIA. Redeem your offer. Let them know we sent you. And that's a good way to support the show.
It's a great way to
And
support
you
the
get
show.
free stuff and you support us.
Yeah. It's great.
Well, Frank, there are other people who support us.
There are people there are so many people now who support the show. We have 4 new patrons on Patreon this
Okay.
week. All of these people are coming in at the venerable level,
God bless them.
which is amazing. That is the $2 level.
Yeah.
They went to thankgodimatheist.com and clicked on the support tab, took them over to another page. There's a little thing.
Right.
Click on the Patreon.
They're all going to get an ad-free version of the show every week.
Every supporter of the show on Patreon gets an ad-free version of the show. It has an RSS feed that's customized to you.
Yeah.
Like whatever level of support, like the people who at this level, the venerable level, they get access to the Frank and Dan Diaries. That just goes out on their RSS feed.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
They get
it's amazing.
The Frank
right?
and Dan Diaries is unique to them. Nobody
is.
else gets that.
Well, anyone who gives higher than that
Right.
gets it.
I'm
But
just
yes,
saying that level and higher,
Yeah.
you get us just
Blathering
just a great talk every week.
about.
Don't
About all
let's-
sorts of
Let's not say what it's about. 'cause-
Well, we talk pop culture.
yeah.
We talk things that that are happening in our daily lives.
Science.
We talk
and
about the weather.
the world.
Weather, Dan. We talk about the weather.
God damn it. Every time we say this, we ruin it. Every time we talk about this particular spiff, we wreck it.
Anywho,
It's a lot of fun. is
Let's
what we're
thank the
trying to say.
following 4 people:
Yes, please.
Steve,
Ah,
Venable,
okay.
Cassie,
Yeah.
and Robert.
The Venerable Venable. Thank you guys so much. All of you are amazing, and hopefully there are more that have thought about joining in, and will help us to achieve our goal of an ad-free show for all. It's it's a very helpful thing, and we're just trying to make this push happen. So thank you guys for being part of that.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Dan,
Yes, sir.
there is something that chaps my hide.
You know what grinds my gears?
Do you know what really
Kicks me in the
sinks my boat?
chewies.
I don't know. Anyway, it's the way that pastors, ministers, reverends, priests, etc., how they're sort of
And all of the various and sundry predators that are out there.
no.
Sorry, was that not the overarching category that you were just listing?
Well, what I was listing was a group of people who get up in front of congregations or that lead congregations of worshipers, and who are, in a sense, held up and put up on a pedestal.
Yes.
Right. And they're doing the Lord's work. They've dedicated their lives to doing good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's not just their parishioners or congregants who hold them up. It's also when they do get caught for the bad shit that a lot of these guys are up to, where they abuse their positions and prey on the weak,
right,
and on the
vulnerable.
innocent and the vulnerable. Thank you. That's the better word.
Yeah.
That belong to their communities, right? Who've maybe even come to them for their help,
right,
or who might be volunteering as an altar boy or whatever, and then they prey on them, right, sexually,
all the time. This happens.
This is just
all of the time, all of the times. Is there a church? There's probably a predator.
Somebody's done something bad in there.
Yeah.
But anyway, and but it's also they get off scot-free sometimes, they're not held to account
in plenty of times. They're not held to account at all,
in the same way, right, or at all, but in the same way that an average Joe would be held accountable for these same things.
Here's the thing.
Case in point.
Their offense is worse, is more egregious. Because if an average Joe
fair enough
molests a child,
fair enough.
They're not in sometimes they're in a position of authority, but when you are in a position of authority and a position of trust, it is a worse abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Because that person has come to you seeking, under that auspice. And so you've done something even worse. So then when this person who has done a worse thing than just molestation molests somebody and is convicted, like, for instance, the Virginia youth pastor Jordan Baird, son of in a family of pastors,
right,
mega church pastors,
right.
He's convicted. This is not his first offense. Convicted of exposing himself to a 16-year-old girl, putting her hand on his genitals, asking for oral sex. This is a girl who came to him as he's her pastor.
A youth pastor, yeah.
He gets, for this crime, not his first offense, 3 years of prison time.
When the prosecutor was asking for 10?
Well, no, this one, yes. In this case, the prosecutor, I think, was asking for 10.
And the judge gives him only 3. Right? It was the judge did the sentencing, right?
Yeah. So this is one of many cases. Like, we find all these cases all over. There was one in Oregon, I believe, where a guy was... The prosecutors were seeking a maximum term of 72 years in prison.
Wow.
For raping his adopted daughter over a period of 2 years. This dude got 12 years.
Unreal.
This kind of stuff keeps happening. Meanwhile, I mean, and let's not talk about the racial elements of all of this. Right. There's all of this stuff. You know, you see people who are convicted of far, far less harmful crimes and getting far, far more stringent sentences than this. These guys are getting such lenient sentences because they're good guys.
Yeah.
They're the good guys.
They've dedicated their lives to God.
To helping
people.
Right.
Helping.
And if they helped all of those other people and they only really hurt one or two, right. Look at the ratio
of help in the world.
Of help that they did. You know, think of in an otherwise blameless life. It's just these little dalliances where they've completely destroyed someone. Someone's going to be picking up these pieces for the rest of their life, and probably multiple people.
It's just not the point, Dan.
No, the point is that this is a man of God who strayed. And that is what happens consistently all of the time. I'm going to call it the Mother Teresa syndrome because...
Yeah, that's great.
It's this idea that people can't work their brains around, which is that I've got a category in my mind called person of God.
Right.
And if a person's in that category, I can't say that they're bad. Right. I just can't.
Right.
They're good. So Mother Teresa, who was, as we have delineated on the show a few times, a monster.
Absolutely.
A person who delighted in the suffering of others and made sure of it, ensured the suffering of others because it brought them closer to God, or that was her excuse.
Right.
That sadist, this person who preyed on the weakest of the weak, is glorified, is going to be sainted soon. Because people can't actually look at her crimes. Right. When they've got this category going.
And it's the same thing here.
And they can, and it doesn't matter how many times the Catholic Church, every diocese in the country is going through hell because all of the dioceses have priests that they have protected who have done horrific things. And we in the atheist community keep wringing our hands and going, what the fuck? Why are people still going to this church?
Right.
And it's because of this cognitive dissonance. Hey, cogdis guys. It's because of this cognitive dissonance where they can't wrap their head around like actually looking at the people that they've put into this sainted category and facing the real truth, the facts of it. So they don't. So they glance off of it. They don't actually look at it. That was terrible, but yes, that's a terrible thing that happened, but, and as long as there's that but, these guys are not going to get stringent prison sentences. They're going to be protected by their own churches. They're going to be, good people, genuinely good people within these churches will protect the predator rather than the victim because they can't wrap their head around it. And that happens time and time again. Good people protect the predator because it would hurt the church, because it would hurt the parishioners. They'd be so sad. Well, guess what? That's not how it's supposed to work.
No, they should all be what they should be doing rather than rallying around the guy. Like if they're worried about like the loss of cohesion in the community or whatever, right? They should rally everybody against him.
Right. Hang him to dry.
Yeah.
Just instantly cut him out and talk nonstop about it.
Complete outrage.
Yeah, exactly.
And allow that to be your cohesive element while you look for a new predator to come in.
Right. To bring in amongst a new wolf for the sheep in your congregation. It's so infuriating and it's so systemic. It's built into. It's human. It is
human. I mean, I'm sitting there listening to you, Dan, and it's like, first of all, this reaction is not just a religious reaction.
Nope.
Right. This is any kind of group think or group organization. You have a leader. You have this person who is maybe even people don't even, they've got their problems with so-and-so
right,
a little bit. But when the time comes and somebody is attacking
and it's one of our
leader, people rally around the leader.
It's amazing.
And protect the leader.
They protect their tribe.
Yeah. This is, it is insidious when it happens within a religious organization. And it is sick how well, especially the Catholic Church, as we get more and more details about how these priests actually worked together.
Yeah.
Right.
Not only to protect each other, but also to supply each other with victims.
To groom victims collectively.
Yeah.
Right. It's really disgusting, some of the stuff that's been coming out.
Yeah.
That is its own horrible beast.
Yep.
Right. But don't think it's exclusive. Like we all need to be thinking about, like, when somebody comes out and accuses somebody, and our initial reaction, a high profile person, our initial reaction is, well,
and not all accusations are true, but
no, exactly. But you need to pay attention to it.
Right. You need to look directly at it.
Yeah. And not let your prejudice about that person. Right.
If that person's in your tribe, you will have a cognitive bias.
Absolutely.
And we human beings are plagued with biases.
Yes.
And the nice thing is that we are in a group, atheists in general, are a lot like much bigger than the general population, people who have been able to do this.
Right.
Which is why they had to leave their religion. Because they were literally, they had the ability to say, I'm part of this group, but I'm still going to actually
we can still fall into it.
Absolutely. We are not immune to this.
No.
But I'm going to give props to our community because our community tends to be better at it.
Okay, fair enough.
But it's still something that we're all prone to.
Yeah.
So, and we need to hold others to account.
Yeah.
So the outrage machine,
Yeah.
It can be a little tiring. It can be a little rough.
Yeah.
But we need to hold judges to account when they do this shit. We need to cry out into the darkness and just say, this is not okay.
Right.
They've done something that is even worse than what average Joe did, but because they have a position of prominence in an organization that judge values, they get the easy ride.
Yeah.
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 And frankly, you know who that hurts the most? The owners of the private prisons of our country. What about the big businessmen? Where's their big sentence?
They should really be pushing.
They should be pushing for
all these predators.
Yeah.
To have minimum sentencing requirements.
Yeah. Honestly, those guys should be like those guys should.
I'm not a supporter of.
No. But those guys should be the ones who are like pushing for priests to be getting.
Absolutely, they should be funding.
Hire some private investigators. Let's get on this.
Yeah,
get those guys under arrest. All right, well, kids, I'm sure you have something to say about it. If you need to write in and address this issue, please do. Write to us, podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
You can also call us and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
That's right. Go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TGIAtheist, and click on that like button.
And while you're on Facebook, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. It is a closed group. That's what makes it awesome.
That's what makes it special. Yes, indeed. Hey, speaking of our social media, thanks so much to Mackenzie, who has just started her own private practice as an audiologist.
What?
And is still manning the helm of our Facebook page. So congratulations on your practice, and thank you so much, Mackenzie. Thanks also to Danny and Amy for their work as moderators in the Members Only Lounge.
And a big thanks goes out to the Red Rock Hot Club for the use of their music, and to Gordon Johnston for the use of his music.
Yes, and thank all of you, dear listeners, for tuning in. We appreciate you.
Bye-bye.